It's Paul Withington of Transport Watch. My question is, why should there be any subsidy for rail? After all, half of us use a train less than once a year, and those from the top quintile of household income travel 5 times as far by rail as do those from either of the bottom 2 quintiles, and 70% of journeys end in London, which surely can stand on its own feet.
Thank you. And your name, sir?
Paul Withington.
And from?
Transport Watch.
Ah, yes. Yes,
He's
that
trying
rings a
to.
bell.
He's the man trying to concrete over British Railways.
Yes. Okay. Well, I won't go through the whole panel for this, but maybe those who have only recently joined us. Catt, would you like to tackle that one?
Climate change, anyone? I think the answer to that is really quite obvious. Rail is the green way of travelling. With electrification, it will be even greener. It's, going from, if you compare it with flying or driving, it's always much greener. I just think that's the kind of direction we have to be moving in if we're going to cut carbon emissions.
Anthony?
I think that 6% figure is the most misquoted old canard of all. Now, of course rail doesn't compete in lots of markets. I can't get the railway down to the pub because there isn't one that goes down to my pub. Of course it doesn't compete for all journeys. It's an absolutely absurd thing to keep trotting out. Where rail does compete, it competes very strongly. Rail is a big carrier in certain markets, obviously long distance and commuting. That's where it competes very well. It carries a high proportion of people. If you're going to have successful cities and successful economies, you've got to shift people who are creating money in and out of those cities. You can only do that by railways. It's the most economical form of mass transit known to mankind. So, yes, I mean, to a degree, I think your point about, are we just feeding the hypermobile to get more hypermobile links back to the previous point about a rich man's railway. Let's have a more affordable railway that more people can use. More people can get out of their car. More people can get in and out of work.